So there are so many, you have, we love you very much. Become those who endure negative emotion to a certain degree. In other words, you all have your thresholds. You can put, Esther remembers anything. As she's watching television, she can watch tornadoes taking villages away. Kind of get used to that if you watch CNN enough. You can watch plagues sweep over nations and epidemics take out civilizations, and you kind of get used to that if you read enough history and pay enough attention on a global scale. But let there be one child that is mistreated in the slightest possible way, and that means let's push the mute button, or let's change the channel. In other words, Esther's threshold was mass murder doesn't bother me so much. Individual abuse, I can't stand it. And we only bring that up because you all have your endurance levels, sort of depending upon what you've bumped up against. You are not nearly, we love you very much, as picky as we would like you to be about feeling good all of the time. Because you got to understand, we're bragging. Yes, we are. We're bragging. We feel good all the time because we want to. And we don't see any reason why not to, since that's the part of the agreement that we are involved in. We hold vibrational maintenance with the furthest request that mankind or you individually have come to. We hold the vision that life has caused you to give birth to. And we hold it so powerfully that there is never a time that you don't have access to it. If you care about the rendezvous more than you do about justifying or rationalizing or being right or pointing. Are you following what we're getting at? Now, most of you are in a situation where what you are witnessing is aggravating, annoying. You can put yourself into a state of fear if you try real hard, but mostly you don't. And so you may have heard us say, you don't really do the work because it's not painful enough to you not to. This isn't the basis of teaching that we were wanting to give to you. In other words, it is not our desire that you wait until things are unbearable before you begin doing the work. But the reason that we're talking to you as we are in this way is because we know, we can feel who you are, coming from all over the place. There are 63 countries playing with us here today. Nice to feel you all out there. Every state, all 50 states are listening in and participating. Jerry is listening from San Antonio and taking notes and enjoying. And what we are wanting you to realize as we are all playing together in this vibrational environment is that the larger part of you always reigns supreme. And anytime you are reaching for alignment with it, your life will be fuller and better in this moment, in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. And that's really what deliberate creation is. It's keeping up with who you are, or at least making an effort to keep up with who you are. And the more you do that, the more joyful your life will be. And the less freaked out you will be about exploring in the realms of the unwanted, because you came as physical creators and as physical manifestors, deliberately intending to sift through the data to give birth to desires. If you find yourself, and Jerry and Esther have heard themselves saying this a little bit in the last months. Now what? Now what? In other words, now what? What is life going to solicit from us now? Now what? Now what? Because dreams that we've held for a very long time are now manifested. Now what? Now what? Now what? What deeper, richer, more meaningful desires can be born? What desires can hatch to which we can find alignment that will cause a manifestation that will be over the moon thrilling, you see. And that's the thing that we want you to realize is available to you all day, every day. You are expansive, deliberate, genius creators. But we can only apply the deliberate word when when and if, when, we can only apply the deliberate word when you care how you feel as much as we care how we feel. Occasionally over the years, Esther has said, Abraham, I'm not in a good place. And I now understand that this negative emotion that I'm feeling means that I have caused a vibrational resistance, separation's too strong a word, between where you are and where I am. So if you were any kind of a friend or inner being or angel or God force, if you were half what you are cracked up to be, you would come over here where I am and hold my hand until I feel better. And we say, you're kidding, right? You want us to leave the vortex so that we can help you back in? How could that possibly work? Your only chance of feeling good is to know that we're here and feel for us. That's what your emotions are. Your emotions are your indicator of whether your emotions are your indicator of your success or lack of success, of aligning with who you really are or not. Are you getting this? So did we tell you the story? You were source energy before you came into this physical body, and the larger part of you still remains the source energy that you were before you came into this physical body. So it wasn't before. It's not that you were source energy and then you come into this physical body and then again you will be source energy. The larger part of you remains source energy while this personality comes forth and becomes the leading edge pioneer of sifting and sorting and expanding. Expanding of what? Expanding of the wholeness of who you are. So you cause the expansion of the source within you, and then the source within you holds steady the vibration, holding bright the light, holding bright the signal, holding bright the feeling, knowing the well-being that you've added and added and added and added so that you can feel your way into alignment, because that's what rings your bells. Now, many of you say, I don't really get this. So I was source energy. And now I'm focused in this body where I can align with it, but I could not align with it. Tell me again, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I come out into a real world with manifestations that could hold me apart from who I really am? And we say, because you wanted to take the bounce, because you wanted to expand, because if you don't know what you don't want, you can't know what you do want, because the comparison and the contrast is necessary for focusing all things. And since you are an eternal being, you wanted the opportunity to expand. Do you get that? Does that make sense to you logically? So you cause this expansion. So now we'll stand back in your shoes. So, all right, so I get that. I came for the service. That isn't what we said. You didn't come for service. You came for the joy of expansion. Okay, so I came for the joy of expansion. The joy of expansion. I came for the joy of expansion. I came to want things I don't have. Tell me again why? Because there isn't anything that you can't have. And wanting a new thing is what life is. Wanting a new thing is the expansion. It's the breathing of the newness into you and into all that is. Okay. So I sacrificed myself for your expansion. That isn't what we said. You came to explore, to cause expansion, because once that rocket is there, once your vortex has it, once your inner being has become it, now there is a current that calls you, and it is that calling that is the friskiness of life. It's that calling that is the passion of life, you see. If you're not being called, you're not alive. So you keep mixing it up and being called because it feels so good to be called if you're answering the call. It feels horrible to be called if you're not. So you only ask the question, tell me again, why would I do this? Something must have gone terribly wrong. When you're not following, but why would you ever not do that? Why would you ever not let yourself go? Because reality is too compelling. And we say, stop it. Reality doesn't mean diddly squat. Reality is only the current manifestation based upon the most average or the most often or the most chronic often offered vibrations. You see what we're getting at? All right. We've given you the theory. We've given you the conceptual. You sort of understand it. many of you have had enough life experience, because words don't teach, that as we were chewing with you there, you were getting it. You were getting the feeling of it. You were remembering things about it. And now we are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. It is our desire to assist you in lining up with what's in your vortex, because we have such full view of who you really are and all that you've become. And we actually can't even really fathom how you stand not being there. We don't even let ourselves go there. We don't try to speculate how you got so strong to endure the less than fantastic vibration that is really you, because we know it's all part of the mix. We just think that in this step 3 process, step 1 is ask, and life causes you to do that all day, every day. Step 2 is source becomes what you've asked for and holds the vibrational frequency of it until you are able to accomplish step 3, which is bring yourself into vibrational alignment with what you've asked for. And so in this 3-step process, you all, not all of you, but pretty much, are pretty heavy-handed on the step 1, which is the ask. And we are excellent at step 2, which is align with what you've asked for and hold the vision of it. And what this gathering is about is at least making the decision that you're going to make step 3 your most important function. Because step 1, you can't control. You can't stop observing. You can't stop becoming. You can't stop expanding. You can't stop launching the rockets. You can't stop becoming, but you can hold yourself in vibrational variance with what you've become, which is what every single negative emotion or anything that you don't want that ever happens is about. And when you get the theory of this, then you have to understand that there's never ever a reason for you to ever live in anything that you do not want for very long, because you never get it done and you can't get it wrong. And the reason you can't get it wrong is because it's never done. And the reason that you can't get it wrong is because it's never done, and because the source within you is standing in the most rightness of it, calling you. And if you will just listen a little bit and feel a little bit for a whiff of the alignment with it, it is our promise to you that the manifestation will come so fast on the heels of your alignment that you will prove to yourself that you are a deliberate creator, and that there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have, regardless of where it currently stands. And there will come a time, not so far from now, where you will stand even in the middle of something unwanted, and you will embrace it as the step 1 part of the 3-step process that has a happy ending every time, because you have shown yourself that you are the creator of your own experience, not the controller of circumstances, but the controller of your relationship with your vortex, the controller of your relationship with your vortex, and therefore the allower of your vortex to cause full manifestation of everything that is within it. The money you want, if you could see the dollars you have amassed, you would stop complaining about how much money you don't have today. In other words, if you knew how much potential, and we only use the word potential in terms of manifestation, but we want you to hear us when we say the manifestation is fast on the heels, fast on the heels, fast on the heels. So we have adored this interaction. It is delicious to interact with you. We can feel that you are in an entirely different place of understanding. You can feel the power of the vortex, and your relationship with it has shifted dramatically. We are eager to observe, and we promise you that we will, the manifestational evidence of the vibrational shift that has taken place within you. You now know deliberate creation in a whole new way. And everyone with whom you interact is just going to be this godsend of a reflection of how you're doing vibrationally. It's so nice. Manifestation fast on the heels to let you know where you are. And why would there be such a loving universe that would give you constant feedback about where you are? Because you're supposed to feel good. Because it's right that you feel good, that it's natural that you feel good. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain consistently and insistently, with practice beyond verbal description, in the vortex. Yeah, you had a nice day. Very good.